The Dead Pair Podcast is brought to you by Kolar Arms, America's competition shotgun, and is fueled by Fiocchi.
Welcome to the Dead Pair Podcast, coming in hot with everything you want to hear about sporting clays. With your hosts, Jason Rambo.
This is what I had to work with, everyone.
And Sean Alley.
Like I said, I was just thirsty.
Oh, boy.
Often imitated, but never duplicated. It's the Dead Pair Podcast. It's showtime.
Welcome back, everyone. What's up, my large mammal friend, Mr. Sean Alley? What's up, buddy?
Jason, doing well, buddy, man. How you been? Things staying busy down there in Florida?
Yeah, fresh off the road. Just came back from Louisiana for the South Central Regional. I understand it's probably going to be a week out by the time everybody hears this, but man, what a cool place. Jimbo and his staff, great job. Really, really cool place. If you haven't ever been there, you need to get down there to Covey Rise and check that out. Very, very cool event. And if you like Louisiana cooking, man, I've had tons of that.
Oh, yeah, don't threaten me with a good time. Yeah, I stayed a little closer to home, shot an event at Airport Ridge the week before, or a week previous, and, it's starting to really change around here, man. The leaves are starting to kind of turn a little bit, get that fall smell in the air. It's definitely coming, but kind of warm back up this week. We're back up into the 80s, but I know that ain't going to stay long.
Yeah, no, it won't, but it's, I don't know. I mean, it's getting cool up there, and that was always, when I lived up there, it was like, oh man, we got to get our shooting in for the bad weather flies.
Yep.
Here, it's just like, oh man, we get to go shoot a whole bunch because it's going to be
another
nice.
day in the neighborhood, right?
Yeah, it's going to be super nice for the next 6 months. It's like 70 degrees. So,
right.
No, it's prime shooting season everywhere, really, going into fall all the way through spring. Kids are back in school, so it makes it a little bit easier on the mom and dad to go out and shoot every now and then, I guess.
Definitely.
But no, the event was, let's just say it had sheer drama, but we're going to take the high road on that, and we're not going to dive into that ugliness. So,
let sleeping dogs lie.
We're going to let sleeping dogs lie. But no, it was a good event. Saw lots of great people, met some new people. Congratulations. I'm going to throw it out there. Chase Williams, I met him and his wife. He won AA, and congratulations, man. He's only been shooting a couple years. Big fans of the podcast, and it was awesome hanging out with him and his friends, and good shooting.
Nice.
But congratulations to Todd Hitch. He was your HOA on the event. Man, I tell you what, the kids are kicking everybody's butt. Todd Hitch, and oh man, the names are up there. Jonathan Prince was up there. Joe Finizzi, I think, was third. M3 for
young eyes
class,
and fast reflexes, man. You can't beat that.
I'm telling you what. Hey, Sean Alley, we do have a quick tourney talk to get to.
Yes, we do.
It's Tourney Talk. Brought to you by Score Chaser.
All right, guys, got one for you here. It's called The Last Blast. This is at the Meadows, and that's going to be November 7th through the 9th. Really cool shoot. They're going to have main event, fee task, and 5 stand. There's an $11,750 guaranteed purse. And also, if you enter the main event, they are giving away 2 Beretta A400s as door prizes. So that's pretty dang cool.
Yeah, and this shoot, I think, is replacing the Twilight Classic that they traditionally did there. I know they're switching management, and I think this is Dominic Bethel. Dominic Bethel's one of his last hurrahs, if you will. So they kind of changed the shoot up a little bit. I may or may not be able to confirm or deny the target setters. Matt Miller, Jonathan Henrici. Did I let that slip?
Why do you do that to yourself?
I don't know. I don't know. I love getting the phone calls.
I guess you must be. Yeah, I'll leave that one alone.
Yeah. But hey, listen, we're talking to Travis Mears tonight, and this is long overdue. We've been chasing Travis around for 5 years now. Been wanting to get him on. We finally got schedules nailed down where he can come on and join us, and I'm really looking forward to this. Travis is a phenomenal competitor, and if you've ever seen his trick shooting shows, that's something to watch right there in itself. Plus, He's owner of Defender Outdoors in Fort Worth, Texas, so this ought to be a good episode. I'm anxious to talk to Travis, dive into a little bit of his history, and see what makes him tick on the sporting clay range, Sean Alley.
Heck yeah, I'm anxious and waiting right now on trepidation, I guess is the word, right?
I thought we talked about dictionary night at your house. We don't.
All
need
right,
to
I'll
be
leave
sharing
the
big words.
thesaurus at home. Sorry.
Well, hey, listen. Let's get Travis on the show.
The Dead Pair.
All right, this one we've been waiting on for a long time. Welcome to the show, Mr. Travis Mears. How are you, bud?
I'm great. Thank you for the opportunity. Super excited to be on the phone with you guys.
Yeah, absolutely, Travis. Great to have you on here. Finally, we've been talking back and forth for a long time. Travis, for our listeners that may or may not know you, can you please tell us a little bit about yourself, like where you're from and how you got started shooting clays?
I can. Started shooting clays. I feel like it's been a long time, even though I still feel pretty young. But I live in Fort Worth, Texas. I currently own and operate a shooting range here called Defender Outdoors Clay Sports Ranch. We've hosted Texas State, hosted South Central Regionals in 24. We've got Texas State 26. Good club, 4 courses, all the bells and whistles. And my passion for having this place and doing this for a career comes from my longevity in the shotgun sports. There's stories of me being tied to a post at the skeet field when my dad and his buddies were shooting when I was a baby. And when Dad would get done with a round of skeet, he'd unwind my rope and I'd go the other way in my walker. And so spent a lot of time as a kid, picking up targets after the guys shot and shooting them with BB guns. And eventually when I was old enough and strong enough to hold up a shotgun around the age of 9, I started shooting and doing pretty decent. And then we found NSCA. We started a 4-H team here where I grew up in Johnson County. And man, we put the pedal to the metal. And what's cool is I've kind of shot in every facet of the game. I've competed at high level in skeet, trap, international skeet, bunker trap, obviously sporting clays. And so people ask me like, man, you shooting as much as you used to? And my honest and quick answer is always, man, I shoot as much now as I did 25 years ago. I've shot the same, pace for 25 years. And last nationals was my 25th straight national championship. And
Wow.
So I'm overly committed to the game. I just turned 39. And then when I'm not shooting sporting clays or running events here, I am a exhibition shooter. So I get to travel all over the country and sometimes internationally, performing for crowds, doing trick shooting exhibitions. I started doing that when I was 17, so I'm 22 years into that. I've done thousands of shows all over the United States for various events in all different sizes, from county fairs to fundraisers to game fairs and everything in between. And so, man, I love shotgun sports. I love the people involved. And I just have really devoted my life to, sharing my passion for the game in every different way that I can. And like I said, overly committed and passionate about it. So I just sometimes I make a conscious effort to maybe stay home and not do as much as I used to, but then I end up looking back and saying, well, hell, I did it all the same as I always have, So, but man, we love it, right? We love it. We all do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Well, a little bit further into that, Travis. So I know you do all those different disciplines. Do you have a favorite discipline amongst the competition side of things, or do you prefer hunting or your exhibition shooting over competition?
Well, I, growing up in 4-H, SCTP, and then at collegiate level, I went to Lindenwood University, shot for there, and had a ball. And that was when I graduated and came home. That was kind of the end of my skeet trap international game career, and even before that and during that, sporting clays has always been my focus. And so since I no longer was competing at the multi-game level and the youth shooting sports, I haven't shot that much skeet trap since, but still love it. Just don't compete at it. What I will try to kind of explain is like I love the competitiveness of sporting clays. I love my buddies that I shoot with. I shoot with Cory, Ant, and Greg at all the majors, and we have a ball doing it. And that's as motivating as anything, is to be there with my, with my squad. And so that itches that scratches my competitive itch. Mm-hmm. But when I step out there and load up a shotgun with 13 rounds and click the mic on, that's the most fun for me.
I can see why.
throwing up 8 targets and shooting it from the hip and turning around and seeing the reaction from a crowd is, better than, hitting a true pair in the shoot off for the national championship. It's a lot of fun for sure. I get about 35 to 45 minutes to just grip it and rip it and do all the wildest stuff that you're not supposed to do with a shotgun and with a captive audience. And dude, there's nothing better.
All right. Well, and let me just go a little bit further then. So now that we're focused on the trick shooting or exhibition shooting, what got you started into that? And then obviously, is that like the biggest part of your shooting world these days?
Oh, I'd say it's seasonal. To be honest with you, I would say it's 50-50. I spent the most of the first half of the year completely devoted to sporting clays, practicing, working at it, going to, all the majors in the first half of the year. And then after kind of the July break, my fall gets real busy with trick shows. And so I have to kind of shift gears. Like I've done 15 shows in the last 5 weeks, and I've got another 10 ahead of me. And I usually do 30, 35 a year. But it seems like over the years, the greater majority of my shows are in the fall. And so it's a challenge. I got to kind of devote my first half of the year to sporting, pause, go to trick shooting, and then get my mind right and shift gears one more time for nationals. And all at the same time, to be honest with you guys, if you follow me on social or anything like that, the thing that I'm probably the most passionate about is hunting. And so nationals really throws a wrench in my year because all I can think about is chasing an elk or a mule deer or a whitetail. And y'all want me to come to San Antonio and shoot clay targets. And I'll do it because I'm overly committed, but I'm not excited about it.
Well, back on the sporting clay side, you mentioned you traveled a lot with Cory and Ant and Greg. In a way, you could say that you've been shooting on a pro squad for most of your career, right? I mean, that had to be a lot of pressure, but in a good way, right? Like you're shooting with guys at the top of the game. You're at the top of the game. You're all on the same squad, and you probably have as much pressure for the tournament as I'm not letting my buddy beat me.
Oh yeah, we were doing the pro squad before the pro squad was cool.
Right. Yeah. So, but that was probably pressure that pushed you in a positive way, right?
Oh yeah, in that squad, if you're in the top 2 in that squad, you're in the top 5 in the shoot. There's no question about that. Yeah. And so, man, I've been with all of them when they've won majors. They've been with me when I've won, some of the big stuff that I've won. And so, yeah, we've had a ton of fun. And a lot of times the fun is had, post event or back at the hotel. And I think our families are getting a little too busy. But early on, when our kids are small and going up and down the road with us, the times that we had with our wives and kids, running around at the hotel was, way more cool than the shoot. We just did the shoot to get our families together.
Well, you kind of lead me into my next question. There's got to be at least one funny story you can share with us about that motley crew of a squad you had.
Whew. I should get in trouble for some of the good ones.
You better make sure the statute of limitations is ran out.
Yeah, right? we need to get lawyers on the phone for you, Travis, or what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, no, we back at Caney Creek in Teague, Texas, we shot a couple PSCA shoots there. We had a state shoot there, and then obviously we had a U.S. Open there. And we used to rent this. It was over at the local RV park that the owner of the range actually owned the RV park, and we'd always rent these houses. I say houses very loosely. Okay, it's 2 single wides that are like man camp kind of single wides. That is just like you walk in one door and there's a bedroom with 2 twins, and there's a bedroom with 2 twins. There's a a common area. And then on the back side of that, there's another set of bedrooms. It's like worse than RV conditions, but we're all in there. So it would get a little Western, and I'll never forget the guys that rented the trailer across from us are now all friends of mine, but they were all from New Mexico. And that particular night, it was late, and I'll use him because I think he'd think it was funny. But Cory, it was late, so you can make your own assumptions there. But he could not fathom that they were New Mexican and not Mexican, and so he was trying to speak Spanish to them. And so, there's so many fun stories, and there's kickers off of that story, but we'll keep it clean for for the audience. But and then back during the NSC or the PSCA days, man, when we'd all stay at the same place. Just it would get Western. It would get Western. The fact that we could go out and shoot good scores was pretty impressive. But it's all part of it. I think we love to shoot, we love to compete, but at the end of the day, we're just like the rest of the crew. There's not very many of us that are going to be so serious that we can't cut up and have a good time, before and after and during. And that's what we've always done. And that's the fun part of it, the camaraderie, the friendship, the families, all that. And then, oh, by the way, we like to kill some birds, Yeah,
that's awesome, man. Well, let me ask you this, Travis. So let's change gears a little bit. Aside from all the shooting, aside from all the exhibition shooting and all the stuff, I mean, you've kind of been around the sport a long time, and I'd say you probably have a better dial on this than most people, or at least, the more experienced people. What do you think about the current state of the sport of sporting clays? I mean, are we doing things right? Are we doing everything we can to help the sport grow? I mean, is there things that we can change or improve? I just kind of like to get your feedback about the sport overall and what we can do to make it better.
I'll tell you what, I don't think you can argue with numbers because people vote with their feet. As these shoots continue to A, get more expensive, but B, get bigger at the same time, that just shows the number of people that want to be involved. And so are we doing everything right across the board as a sport and as an association? I mean, sure, there's probably some things that we could do differently, but again, people vote with their feet. And, if I can have a local tournament in June when it's pretty hot in Texas and 350 people show up, and then we sell out shoots, within minutes of opening registration. It's just, to me, that really tells you the story. And if you really stop and think about the expense that people are going through to go to one of these shoots, you got, $100 case of shells, you got $150 a day golf cart, you got, thousands of dollars in entry fees and travel expenses and all this stuff. And at the end of the day, if you don't have the high score, there's literally no way that you're going to make your money back. But we still, thousands at a time, decide to go do it. I think that tells you the story, right? People want to do it. People want to do it real bad.
It's kind of a testimony to how popular it is and how addictive it is, really.
Yeah, it's just a fantastic sport. We've got great people, and so would it be cool if it was on TV? Yeah, sure. Would it be cool if we made more money? Yeah, cool. But I'll tell you that it's better now than it was 15, 20 years ago. And so are we heading in the right direction? Yeah. So I don't think there's an easy button. I think you can just go on one of the forums and search just about anything that you might think would work, and you'll find a discussion about it and pros, cons, and reasons, and so all in all, I think the sport's going in a great direction. People love it, and that kind of tells you the story. If they didn't like it, the numbers would be dwindling like some of the other sports.
Yeah, okay. We just recently recorded with Joe Bartozzi from the NSSF, and from, they do that survey every 2 years and, or 18 months. And, the numbers kind of dropped this last one, and they're going to dive into it and see why. But you're right though, man. I mean, you go to sign up for a regional, and if you're not on it within 24 hours of it opening, you're probably not going to get the squad you want or the rotation times you want. I mean, they just fill up so daggone fast now.
Yeah, and that's a financial commitment itself. If you get on there and sign up for every shoot that you want to for the year, you're thousands of dollars, and then the logistics
just in
of
deposits,
and then the logistics of booking hotels and rental cars and golf carts and all the other things that that could be perceived as a pain in the ass, but we're all doing it, and we're all doing it as fast as we possibly can because it's that important to us to be there and be on that squad and to have our spot in the fee task because we know it's going to fill up, and so the sport's thriving. Now, what we do with it while it's thriving and how it's thriving is what's important. I think having good ambassadors, I think having well-run competitions and representing ourselves well along the way are all the things that we should do and things that we should continue to do. And if we see or feel or hear of a bad apple, we address it and make sure that, we shed positive light on the game.
Yeah. Well, Travis, switching gears just a little bit, tell us about Defender Outdoors. How did that come to be?
Yeah, so we'll go back to when I came home from college. I said I went to Lindenwood University, which is I describe it as the world's best collegiate shooting team, and nobody can take that away from us. I was a part of the team for 5 years, got 5 team national championships and 7 individual national championships.
Wow.
And a master's and a business degree, and came home as planned and to kind of ranch real estate. It was 2008. There wasn't a real estate market. So I went to work for Nationwide Insurance, sold some insurance. At the time, the agency was being sold after I'd kind of built up my book a little bit. The agency was being sold. And so I was doing a trick show for this charity shoot. And it was my job to not only do the show, but also to kind of take care of the VIP sponsors. And so we're sitting around afternoon having a couple beers. And I said, I don't know what you guys do, but y'all are a pretty cool group of guys. If you ever know of, or if you're hiring, time for me to make a change because this and this and this is going on. And I was very underqualified for the position, but the VP said, meet me at my office on Tuesday. So I did. It was the top of the tallest building in downtown Fort Worth. And I showed up in starched blue jeans and a white dress shirt and cowboy boots. And I was very underdressed because this was a suit and tie only kind of place. So they gave me a job. I was a landman for an oil and gas company, and privately owned oil and gas company. It was a great opportunity. It was one of those deals where you could sit there and do this job for 35 years, retire a wealthy man, and all was good. And that was fine. And I was 5 or 6 years into that, but I'm sitting there at my desk thinking about how in the hell am I going to squeeze one more vacation day to go shoot one more tournament or go on one more hunt. And I thought, well, I'm not ever going to be able to do that unless I go start my own deal. And so I started putting together a business plan, and I put together a pretty good little performa and really kind of broke out what having a range and building a range would look like and feel like and look like financially. And on my lunch break, I started going and meeting with any and every large landowner within 30 miles of Fort Worth. And I struck out a bunch and ultimately had a guy say, well, you should call my buddy. He might know something. And so I did. And we worked on some properties, and we had one that we were going to lock down, and it didn't work. The lake on it was too big. And so we ended up, he goes, man, why don't we just do it at my place? I was like, well, I thought you never asked. And so, and so we drove over to this ranch that I'm currently on, and he goes, you think it'll work? I said, I know it'll work. And he goes, we'll get started tomorrow. And so we partnered up, and I started the next day with a push mower and a weed eater, and turned a ranch that hadn't been touched in probably 100 years, and turned it into a range that's kind of known nationwide now. And so we also have an indoor range. It's a rifle pistol. It's the largest indoor range in North Texas, with about 7,000 square foot of retail, and there's 30 pistol bays and 6 rifle bays out to 85. The damn thing's really impressive. Sells every kind of rifle, pistol, shotgun, anything you could ever imagine, ammo, scopes, thermals, the whole 9 yards. And so that was a business that my partners were already in. And then we started this, where really they just, gave me an opportunity, and I took it, and I built this deal. And so Defender Outdoors Shooting Center is our indoor range, and Defender Outdoors Clay Sports Ranch is our outdoor range. And so that's how the whole deal kind of came together. We started in January 2018, and we throw about 6.5 million targets a year. We have 120 corporate charities a year, 5 leagues, 5 ladies' nights, and then our daily traffic is nuts. And so it's just, location's really good. You can stand on Station 6 here behind my office and see downtown. So the location's really good. We're on the loop around Fort Worth, and we have a lot of loyal and incredible customers. Our regulars are just amazing. We have one of the best ladies groups, ladies followings, probably any club in the country. For example, tonight is our last ladies night. Ladies nights are typically like 25 to 45. We have over 70 coming tonight, which is nuts.
Wow.
But just a testament of, kind of how my team operates. We try to have a good time and make sure that everybody has a good time, and by result, the numbers reflect. And so that's kind of the story of how Defender Outdoors Clay Sports Ranch was put together. And, man, we've had a hell of a good time in 7.5 years. I look forward to the next 25.
That's incredible. I know you host a lot of tournaments, like you just said. And I mean, you had the regional there last year. You got state shoot coming next year. What do you think, Travis, has been your biggest challenge as a club owner? Like something that people might not think of or see that you've, it's been a struggle for you at times.
Well, I think just my personality is I want to please everyone. And so whether it's my employees or my customers or you that might think about coming here 6 months from now. And so we strive to do that on a daily basis. And you can't always please everybody, but man, we try hard. I think one of the biggest challenges that goes with that is it's a grind. Seasonality of a shooting range is a grind because, like I said, we do 120 corporate charities, and then we do 9 NSCA, which NSCA is the hardest part of that's setting the birds and getting everything ready. But the grind of your charity events is like, man, we're here at 6 a.m. and at 6 p.m. the next event's coming in to set up for the next day, so you might not get out of here till late. And then you're back again the next day at 6 a.m. And so what happens is like, for example, starting August 1st through Thanksgiving, we have a shoot almost every day, every single day. And so that wears on everyone. And so as a challenge, I think it's just, trying to keep everybody healthy, happy, and understand that there's light at the end of the tunnel. We're just in the middle of the grind. I think it's a challenge because sometimes everybody gets real tired and they start getting a little grumpy, and you just try to manage the chaos well enough to get through the season so you can start regrouping and getting ready for the next one.
Well, 2 things you said, your personality, you strive to try and please everyone. If I could give you any kind of advice whatsoever, it's don't start a Clay Target podcast. The other thing I'll say, I know you're holding a Texas State, so we are going to get you back on here for a Texas State preview when we get a little closer. We'll go through all of that, the ins and outs of the tournaments and the who, what, where, why, and when and how. So,
yeah, love to.
And then, of course, you and I have talked about some other things that may be in the works that could possibly be a big announcement. But we'll get to that down the road.
Right.
But you said you're close to, you can see downtown Fort Worth, just right off the top, just real quick for everybody. Obviously, the quickest airport's going to be Dallas, Fort Worth, right?
Right. Yeah. So if you were flying in here, you'd fly into DFW, which is the Dallas airport. And we're about 40 minutes from there.
Okay.
And the way Dallas and Fort Worth are, on the map, Dallas is in the east. Fort Worth is just west about 30 miles, but they sit even. And if you live in Fort Worth, you want to be a Wild West cowboy. If you live in Dallas, you want to be a New York stockbroker. And so there's a line right in the middle. It's called, and we don't go east of 360 and they don't go west of 360. And now obviously that's a joke, but that's kind of the culture of Dallas Fort Worth. And we stuck Arlington with the Dallas Cowboys right in the middle. And so, if you come here for a shoot, you're going to land it on the north side of Dallas, and you're going to get a breath of fresh air when you get west of 360. And you're going to go down the stockyards and eat a big old steak and see some Longhorns get driven down the road and get to come out to the ranch and shoot clay targets. And that's kind of that's the way we roll here on this side.
Awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, Travis, I mean, again, you're a busy guy, man, doing a lot of different stuff. And I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up, you're also a target setter. I mean, like you said, you were setting targets for your tournaments, but you kind of dabble around all over, don't you? I mean, how big of a part of your career is target setting these days?
Oh, I wouldn't hang a hat on that. I don't know. People say I set good birds and I like setting them, but I set here. I've been asked to set. I think I set some stuff at the Texas State a few years ago down in San Antonio. I think I've set, for various events, but I don't, it's not on my resume. Call me for target setting because I just ain't got the time to come do it.
Gotcha.
I know how they should be set. I know, I can coach you on how to set them. And at the end of the day, it's all about, entertaining your shooter and giving them a good mix. And so we have three ranges or three courses that we use for our tournaments, and the way I typically, do it, and everybody's kind of caught on to a certain extent. The ranch course is a little bit more spread out. I can throw, more tournament type, like if you're going to go to the state, the nationals, US Open, this is what you're going to see. And then I've got the cow tunnel, which is a little bit closer quarters, and you're going to see a modified version of that with the way I would describe it is we're going to take off about 15% of the spring and 15 yards. And so, if you come to one of our tournaments, you get a mix of the two, and, the scores are going to be 5 to 7 targets off from one to the other. And there's a good mix. You're going to be challenged on close. You're going to be challenged on distance. You got a big tower. We got speed. We got off speed, and just trying to give everybody a good mix, and knowing at the end of the day that as a target setter, this is one of my dad's favorite sayings, is that at the end of the day, you're in the entertainment business. And so whether it's, whether I'm setting birds for, my buddy Ant or Cory or Greg, or setting for this guy that started shooting yesterday, there needs to be a good enough mix out there that everybody has a good time. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And so that's what we aim to do. And it's fun, but I'm not trying to go set tournaments all over the country. I would enjoy it, but I don't have the time for it.
Gotcha.
I've got an incredible family. My wife and I are celebrating our 15-year anniversary this year. We took a trip in the summer. Our anniversary is actually not till October. We took a trip to Greece. We were going to go for World PTASC, and then I looked at the schedule and I told my wife, I was like, well, we're going to shoot 50 targets a day for 5 days. That don't sound like much of a vacation. So why don't we just scratch the shoot and let's go. She really wanted to go to Greece. So we went over there for, 9 days and just had a ball. And we got 2 kids. My daughter, Lakin, is 10, and she's dabbling in some shooting and cheerleading and volleyball and gymnastics and horse riding. All of those other than horseback. You know, my wife or I are coaching. And my son River is 7. They both just shot their first dove, a little 28 gauge not too long ago. He's in football, baseball, basketball, likes to shoot his bow, his shotgun. And again, I coach everything he does. And so every day is a rat race, and it's just, we're blessed to be able to do it. And my parents, man, they raised me up right. They raised me to go full speed all the time, and that's what we do. And they shoot out here at the range, so I get to see them a lot. And man, we just have a lot of fun with everything. If it's not fun, we just go find something else to do, right?
Well,
Yep.
you know, and that you kind of again led into my next question is, you know, not only with the club, but you know, you have a family, a young family still, and you got your trick shooting, everything else. So, like, as far as competitive sporting clays, understandably your travel has slowed down a little bit. Do you see either one of your kids? Do you see something in them where, hey, this one might take up competitive shooting sports? Like, do you think that's going to come for either one of them?
I do, but I made this conscious decision a long time ago. I wasn't gonna ask them to or tell them to.
Right.
I want to make sure that they have every opportunity, the way that my parents did me. You know, if my kids say, "Can we go to the range?" the answer will never be no. If they say, "Can I shoot one more?" Hell yeah. You know, and so that's the way I'm going to approach it. I think right now at this point, they're both, you know, too young to really be involved in any of the youth sports in the youth shotgun sports other than maybe 4-H. But you know, hell, we got enough sports going on right now that we don't need to go out there and shoot a 15 and skeet because we're not strong enough to hold the gun up. When they get 12, you know, Dad's truck might go to the range a little more often for them than it does now, so that they have all of those opportunities. If they enjoy it, I'm all in. If they don't, then let's go do what you like to do. And like I said before, I've shot at the same pace, the same amount of targets, the same shoots for over 20 years, and I'll do that until I can't anymore. And so, you know, I've known my wife since we were in diapers, and she ain't even my sister, but, you know, we went to the same daycare, the same high school, and so she knows at what pace I run and what shoots I'm going to be on the calendar. And so she's totally supportive and always has been, and my kids too. And so when it's time to go to the U.S. Open, time to go to regionals, time to go to the state championship, everybody's on board. And when they can come, they come. When they can't, then my wife juggles all the balls and gets everybody to all the practices and all the games. And my parents help and her parents help. And it's just, you know, it takes a village to do it, especially at the rate that we try to do it. So,
yeah.
Nice. Well, I'll tell you what, here's a question for you. Out of all of your accomplishments, do you have one that really stands out, like that you're really super proud of, or maybe, you know, surprised that you did it?
I guess I have two. I've got thousands of little things that, you know, one over the years. I've had a pretty good little run here the last 2 years with a couple good ones, but two over the years that really stand out to me was my last collegiate nationals. Went down there, really, really prepared. I mean, I shot 300 shells a day for 50 days prior, and, you know, really devoted myself to winning that shoot. And so in 2010, I went down there. I won the overall. I won international skeet. I won bunker trap. I won sporting. I won 5-stand. And I don't remember if there was a super sporting. If there was, I won it. And then I shot a pair of 98s in the American Games. Those were only 2 events I didn't win. And so just all around, that experience was great. There was 7 events. I won 5 of them, won the overall. It was just really cool. And that one stands out to me because I devoted myself to it and then went and accomplished it. The other one that has always been, high on my list is I won the ESPN Great Outdoor Games in 2004, which was cool. And a lot of people that are probably listening to this, weren't in the shotgun sports at that time because it was a long time ago. But I went when I was 16, 2003, and I took fourth, so one out of the medal. And this is televised on ESPN. It was fun. You had to qualify to go to it. And then the next year, 2004, we were in Madison, Wisconsin, and I ended up winning the gold there. I got in a shoot off with Robbie Purser and shot a dropping teal at 60 yards to win the shoot off. And at 17, won the gold medal and on TV. It was really cool, man. The whole thing was cool. And I always tell everybody I'm the reigning champ, because in 2005 we were going to Florida for the Great Outdoor Games, and a hurricane hit, and it canceled the event, and they never started it back up. So I'm the reigning champ.
Very nice.
Yeah, so
very nice.
That was cool. And there's a I think it's on my website and it's on my YouTube channel. But like the old or the old video of that's up there, and it's pretty cool. People run across it every once in a while.
Travis, I know you listen to the show, and we always do rapid fire with a new shooter that we have on. You want to do that with us real quick?
Sure, let's do it.
So, what gun do you shoot? What make and model? And I guess we'll just narrow that down to your sporting gun.
Okay, sporting is a Caesar Greeny Invictus 3.
Okay, 32-inch barrel.
Right now I've got a 34 choked, and it's M-spec barrel. So it's the same weight as a 32. Got a Winnig custom stock on it. Been shooting this gun for 8 years, and it looks the same, feels the same, shoots the same. Love it.
What you said it's fixed. What constrictions are they? Do you know?
Oh, well, it was fixed. I choked it, but it was fixed at iMod, and I shot it really dang good. And I don't know why I choked it, but I did. After about 2 years, I woke up one day and choked it. So it's got some Briley chokes in it. Briley was one of the first first groups that helped me when I was probably 10 years old, and I'm overly, loyal to everybody in this game, and they were the first ones to stick their neck out. And so I've been shooting Brileys since I was 10 years old, so I love them. They're just great company, great people, great product.
That's cool. Do you have like a go-to constriction, like you normally run this, unless it's super far or super close?
I have had mod in that thing for as long as I can remember.
Well, it's a good thing you got it choked, though, then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I have some other chokes, but I don't know.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Well, I know you're a fellow Fiocchi shooter. What shells do you shoot? What's your recipe?
Yeah, so for sporting clays, I shoot the little rhinos, and probably 75% 7.5, 25% 8s.
Okay.
Yeah, 1 ounce, 1250, just a awesome load. Breaks everything I want to shoot. Yeah.
Sean and I burned quite a few, not as many as you have, but we've burned quite a few of those. We love them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
great
good.
shell.
Are you a vest or a shell bag guy?
I shoot a vest. Yeah.
What vest?
I'm wearing a bear pelt and Heather, and they just do an awesome job. And those are the kind of people in the game that just make you think, man, I'm going to do this forever, right? They're so nice. They're so easy to work with. They put out a great product. They're always, striving to just really do a good job. And so I'm happy to be associated with Bear Pelt.
Very cool. What glasses do you use?
Shoot Pilas. I've got the Copas with the wood grain temples. I've been shooting those things for, God dang, probably eight years now. So I've gotten my life out of those. I wear them every day. I'm at the range every day, and they hold up. And what amazes me about the Pila lenses is we can be really abusive to them, and they don't get scratched and tore up. I mean, I wear the same lens for 5, 6, 7 years, and the same as the day I got it, other than all the fruit and veggies smeared on the lens from my trick shows.
Nice. What ear protection do you use?
I've got Sound Gear Phantoms.
Okay.
The rechargeable ones.
Yep.
And man, they changed the game for me. I feel like I've had just about all the electronics over the years, but these I've been running them for 2 or 3 years now, and they work really well for me. I mean, just being around shotguns all day, every day, I always wear hearing protection. You know, I always plug Mears when I walk up on somebody that's shooting, blah, 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 but I'm still like really deaf. And so these things, being able to hear my student when they're talking to me, or, you know, hear the trapper when they call out it's a big benefit, you know, and sometimes people could think that those things are expensive, but they're a game changer
they
as
pay
far as
for
the
themselves.
comfort. Yeah. You know, what's not expensive, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Well, Sean and I run Sound Gear Phantoms. We got ours through Dr. Grace at Odo Pro. And,
Yeah.
you know, I was very optimistic, but at the same time cautious, because I'm somebody like I can get distracted really easy, and I didn't want to be able to hear everything. Now I just feel like I can't shoot without them. I mean, I can hear a trap back there behind a bush somewhere hidden, you know, when you call pull and it throws. And then,
For
like
sure.
you said, be able to talk to somebody off the station without having to yell. You know,
Yeah. When I give a lesson, I turn the volume up. When I'm shooting, I might turn the volume down. There's been tournaments where I hit the mute button, like the accessibility of all the, you know, the dials and buttons is super easy. And so it just makes it adaptive. You know what I mean?
Well, one more real quick question on the rapid fire is, what gun do you shoot for your trick shows?
So I shoot a 5-arm Chesapeake, which is in my opinion, a hybrid between a hunting gun and a target gun. I say that because it's got a composite camo stock and a Cerakoted barrel, but it's a flat 30-inch that cycles like a dream. I can shoot 13 shells in that in like 1.8 seconds.
Wow.
Yeah, so you can video me and there'll be 8 or 9 shells in the air all at once. I mean, that thing's it's faster than my finger. And so for my trick shooting, if you've ever seen one or look at the video or whatever, I always open the show with a rapid fire. I shoot this can, and when the second can flies in the air, I just rip through it as fast as I can. And man, the gun shoots great. Like I said, it's called the 5-arm Chesapeake. It's a great tool, and man, I'm really abusive to these show guns because that's part of the entertainment part of it. I throw them, I kick them, rapid fire them. I just absolutely abuse them, and they just keep on trucking. So I'm real proud of those guns, and I do my best to wear them out, but I ain't got there yet. So
Nice.
That's very cool. Travis, I know in addition to your sponsors, you got some family you hold near and dear to you. I'm sure you have some people you want to thank that's helped you along the way.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, that list was longer than your podcast is going to let me to be, but I really got to thank my parents because, you know, the shotgun sports is a huge commitment for a family. And my dad gave me all the opportunity to go to the range, be at the range. My mom, you know, allowed us to do that by supporting us and, you know, never saying yes, no, or indifferent, just being supportive. And so got to thank my parents. I always tell kids and always tell youngsters when they come through the range, you might strive to have that gun sponsor or that choke sponsor or that shell sponsor, but that guy or that girl standing next to you is the best sponsor you're ever going to have. And so hug them, thank them right now. Yeah. And they do. And that's the truth. And, you know, and obviously my wife and my kids are incredibly supportive. My wife, Rowlynn, is just so awesome. She doesn't shoot clay targets, but she's freaking deadly on birds and deer. And she's a great hunter. And we have a ball doing that together. And my team here at the range, they put up with my shenanigans because I'm on the road, and I have no doubt in my mind when I pack my bag and jump on a plane to go do a show or a shoot or a hunt somewhere that they are going to run this thing as good, if not better, than if I was here. And so I got to thank them for, you know, allowing me to continue to shoot at a high level, both in sporting clays and in trick shooting. And then come they're already gearing up for this, but I've got, an antelope tag here next week, going elk hunting. Then I've got a mule deer hunt, and then I'm trying to book all these other hunts because that's what I'm really, really passionate about. And they know that's coming, and they're getting ready because they know, I'm about to be gone, and they're going to kick some butt and take names without me.
Well, one last thing I wanted to ask you, and I apologize. We should have asked you about this earlier in the show, but you also do some coaching. If anybody's looking to get a hold of you, how do they go about doing that for a lesson?
Yeah. Lesson availability goes with the season, obviously spring.
Sure.
Spring and fall. I try to do it all, but man, we got to take care of these events. But I do a lot of lessons. I do, I don't know, 10 a week or so, and I love it. I'm really passionate about it. I help a lot of people to get a hold of me. They can email me at travis@defenderoutdoors.com. I've got a website. It's www.travismears.com. And then obviously you can reach me through the range, which is defenderoutdoors.com. I've got obviously the Facebook and Instagram. Those are all easy ways to get me. And I've got I think this is something that would be beneficial to probably everybody listening, is I've got a YouTube channel. It's called Shotgun Passion with Travis Mears. If they could subscribe, check out the videos. There's everything from gun reviews to trick shooting to instructional videos. We released a target setting video a couple weeks ago that I think went in the NSCA newsletter email that went out today. So again, that's Shotgun Passion with Travis Mears, and we try to just put content out there that is entertaining and sheds a positive light on the sport. And so, yeah, there's easy ways to get a hold of me.
Okay.
One of these days I'm going to
what's that?
Change my phone number, though. I said one of these days I'm going to change my phone number. That goes off too much.
Too easy to track down. Huh?
Yeah. Well, I'll be sure to put those links down in the show description. I know you gave a lot there, so if somebody's driving down the road listening to this, you can always look in the show description and find that link. Travis, I can't thank you enough, man. I mean, look, you just told all of us exactly how busy you are, and it's no doubt in anybody's mind why it took us so long to get a hold of you and get this show set up. So,
right.
But thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate it, and man, I look forward to seeing you. I know we'll see you at Nationals, but you're going to also see me at your state shoot next year. So,
awesome.
Yeah, man, we really appreciate you.
Yeah, we appreciate everybody that has come to our shoots. And you asked me a minute ago about thanking people. I want to take the opportunity again and thank CJ Green, Fab Arm. They're a huge supporter of me personally, the range, and our shoots that we host. And they'll be our title sponsor for the state shoot in 2026. And Fiocchi and Briley and Winning Custom Gun Stocks, Bear Pelt, Pila, Sound Gear, and the list goes on. But these are all, brands that when we start conversations, I'm real direct and real upfront. Like, I'm not looking to, get the next best deal. I'm looking for the next 15, 20 years. And so if we can all be on board with, being great partners to each other, not just a sponsor and not just a shooter, but a great partner, then those are the kind of relationships that I have with my supporters. And I just, I can't thank them enough for allowing me the long enough rope to go do all the things I do. And so thank them real quick. And then going back to the state shoot. So the state shoot in 2026 is going to be April 14th through the 19th. And we're going to open up registration the morning of October 1st. Okay. And so if you want to put that date on the calendar, October 1st is when the registration will open on Score Chaser. And we got all the courses and all the events that you could ever want. I think you can correct me if I'm wrong, and and that would be great. But just a random deal, we're going to have 410 PTAS, which I don't know if I've ever seen that. And so
I've never heard of that.
Okay, you always see the 2028, right?
Right. Yeah.
Well, we're going to do the 410. My dad, Lonnie Mears, he loves a small gauge. And so I thought, well, let's throw in one more small gauge. And so there's that random fact for the state shoot in 2026.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's very cool though. I like that. That's awesome. Like I said, we'll definitely get you back on as we get a little bit closer to the Texas State and do a Texas State preview show with you. I think that'd be fun
Cool.
and get all that good information out there. I'm glad you did plug the date, though, because like we talked about earlier in the show, these shoots open up, man. They fill up quick.
Yeah, no doubt. And that one's sandwiched. I think it's sandwiched between the Browning Briley and the World Sporting down in San Antonio, and so it might be an opportunity for folks to, if they've got the time, to be on the road that long, you could hit 3 big shoots in a row. But yeah, we can talk about all that later.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. We will. Well, thanks again, Travis. Greatly appreciate it. Everybody stick around. Sean and I got a real quick message for everybody. We'll wrap up the show, but Travis Mears, thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, thanks, Travis.
Hey, I appreciate the opportunity, guys, and I want to thank y'all for for being a voice and for always providing good content and letting shooters learn and shooters share information and just really helping the sport continue to grow in a positive light. So thank y'all for the opportunity to come on today. I appreciate you guys.
Yes, sir. You're always welcome here.
Yeah, thanks, Travis.
All right, we'll see y'all.
The Dead Pair.
Well, Jason, that was definitely worth the wait, buddy. Travis is a good guy. Definitely been around the block a few times, and he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, every time I run into him at a shoot, Sean, it's always a great conversation. I look forward to seeing him, look forward to talking to him, just like Cory, just like Anthony. You know what I mean? I mean, you can tell that those guys are friends because they have the same mentality on stuff, and what a cool bunch of people,
Yeah, a lot of experience and generally a younger guy, but I mean, he's been around, but at the same time, a lot of experience for his age.
Yeah, and he's got cool things coming to Defender Outdoors. Again, check out those links down in the show description. Sean, I want to kind of get through this quick, and I don't want anybody to think we're trying to speed talk, but we ran long on this episode. We do got some important information to get out to everybody. First of all, questions for the coaches. We're trying to do at least one entire show, if not 2 parts, of nothing but questions for the coaches. So send in your questions to us. If you have someone specific you'd like to ask the question to, notate that, but get those questions to us. There's multiple ways to send them to us. You can hit the contact button on our website, thedeadpair.com. You can find us on social media, both Facebook and Instagram. However you want to do it, get us those questions. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's clay target related. Get us those questions. We'll get them answered.
Yep. And another reminder, guys, that Kolar gun is going to go to somebody here really soon. We're down to less than 2 months away from the Nationals at this point. So you can go on our website. There's a direct link on there. Takes you to that Give Smart website for the kids in clays. Buy your raffle tickets for that gun because somebody's going to go home with it after the Nationals when we draw the winning ticket.
Yeah, Sean and I talked to probably 10 of our friends this past weekend at the South Central, and oh man, yeah, I'm definitely going to get my ticket. I'm like, what? You haven't got it yet? And they're like, oh no, I've been meaning to do that. Well, you better get on it because we're about a month out from drawing that ticket. And I don't want to hear, oh man, I forgot to get a ticket. You can't win if you don't play. So
that's right.
Get that ticket.
Absolutely right.
Another reminder too, Dead Pair 10, all one word, DEADPAIR 10 will get you 10% off through both Taconic Distillery and RE Ranger. Again, saw somebody this weekend really wants a pair of Ranger Reacts, and I had to remind them that, hey, look, I know it's an $800 set, but you're going to get 10% off using the Dead Pair. Oh, I forgot about that. Well, we harp on this every week. So get on it. Get over to their website, use that code, save your money. And hey, you see us at a shoot somewhere, show us your new glasses, or maybe tell us how good that maple bourbon from Taconic Distillery is.
Oh, it's good. I can tell you.
Oh, I can vouch for it. I don't know. I can't get away from the daggone pre-made old fashions. But
yep, that's way too easy to throw that over some ice. It's so good.
Yes. And listen, we have a ton of great people that are helping us out. Obviously, Kolar Arms. Thank you so much to Kolar. Fiocchi USA, Sean Alley, we love us some Fiocchi. And we've got some big announcements coming from Fiocchi too. So hang with us on that. Of course, Gun and Trophy Insurance, now a partner with the Dead Pair Podcast. I keep getting emails from people saying, man, I signed up. It was so easy. Cole was a big help. He saved me a ton of money. I got better coverage. These are the kind of people that we love being partnered with on this show. Give them a call. Look them up. Gun and Trophy Insurance. Save some money. Get good coverage for your firearm. Of course, Sean, Atlas Traps. We love us some American-made Atlas Traps. get a hold of me, because I'm telling you right now, I've had people calling me lately, and it's like, look, we're 4 to 6 weeks out right now on a trap. And then people say, well, we're going into winter. Get it now. Don't wait to the spring rush when it's even more wait time to get your trap. Give me a call, whether it's a personal trap for your backyard or you got a 100 bird course you want to put in. I can help you. So give me a call on the Atlas Traps. Sean, RE Ranger, our Ranger Reacts.
Love those Ranger Reacts. They're great glasses. Try them out. They got not just the high-end stuff, but they got entry-level and midpoint stuff for people of different budgets. They've got a lens to fit you, so try them out and give them a shot. Also, big thank you to Rhino Chokes. We love the guys at Rhino Chokes. Those guys not only sell great chokes, but they do tons of gun work. They do gun fitting, barrel porting, you name it. They can take care of pretty much everything. Another new guy this year. Let's thank Mr. Neil Chadwick from Long Range.
Jeez.
Sorry, I had a little brain fart there before my mouth would move. But yeah, Neil Chadwick from Long Range. We love Neil. He's a great guy to have on, and we really appreciate his support this year.
Yes, probably the best. No, I shouldn't say probably the best electronics in the business for anything controlling a trap. Definitely get a hold of Long Range.
Doubt. And then also, last but not least, a big thank you to Score Chaser. Again, that's where we all go to find our tournaments. Get signed up, and obviously these days you got to do it quick or else you're going to miss out on them.
Yeah, for sure. Sean Alley, we push it every week. Take someone new shooting, take them to a tournament. We're going to have a little short segment here coming up on a very, probably here in the next show or two, from the NSSF. I know we just did the survey. The Dead Pair podcast is going to be working with the NSSF on their +1 program, so look for an announcement coming with that. But Sean Alley, the only thing that's going to help is from within. We've got to take new people out shooting.
Yeah. And I mean, Travis is a prime example. He's very involved. I'm sure his kids are going to be holding a gun at some point whenever he feels it's ready, but he's also out there doing it in the trenches. He's probably helping people, coaching people. He's got the ladies groups he was talking about. So I'm sure he's got his hand involved in all of that. And you don't have to be necessarily that involved, but it's just a little bit. It just 1 or 2 people a year makes a big, big difference to the sport. And you never know who you might get involved in and what they might become once you put a gun in their hand and watch that clay break.
Well, it's funny having conversations, and this is just real quick, we're going to wrap this up, but having conversations with people at the shoot. I've had people tell me, man, I'm kind of, like bashful to go ask somebody to, go shooting for the first time. It's like, have you ever taken your brother? No. Have you ever taken your sister? No. Have you ever taken your wife, your kid, your neighbor, your coworker? Oh, wow. I just didn't think of that. I'm telling you, you have an opportunity. Each and every one of us have an opportunity to take somebody that's never been out clay shooting, take them out to a range, man. Let them bust some birds. And that's what's going to help the sport grow. If nothing else, it's going to put us in a better light than the media will. So
that's right.
Do your part. Sean Alley, again, we've ran long. I say this every week. Sooner or later, we got to do a short one.
Just got to stop flapping our gums as much, I guess.
That's right. Well, Sean Alley, until next week, buddy.
Can't wait to see you all back here on the Dead Pair podcast.
We'll see you next time on the Dead Pair Podcast.
The Dead Pair Podcast is brought to you by Kolar Arms, the mark of performance, and is fueled by Fiocchi USA. The Dead Pair theme song was written, arranged, and produced by Toby Tomplay. Special thanks to the following sponsors: Atlas Traps, Ranger Performance Eyewear, Rhino Chokes, Long Range LLC, Taconic Distillery, Score Chaser, and Clay Range Design Works.